Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Ignition Zone is a channel that focuses a lot on Bionicle and other LEGO content. On the channel I feature many other mock tutorials. I have an ongoing podcast where I feature many other people from the community. If you want to see more tutorials just like this, please feel free to subscribe as it is free. And not to mention, by liking the video, it encourages me to share more mock instructions with all of you. Today we're going to be talking about the Turaga design, specifically from 2001. Outside the Turaga Duma figure that we got in 2004, this is really all we have to work with in terms of Turaga. And even with the Duma figure, he's basically just a taller Matoran. Heck, he doesn't even come with a staff. I might revisit Duma on a different day, but today we're going to be specifically looking at Vekama, as he is the most iconic Turaga. And he's probably the one to come to mind when you hear the word Turaga. What I really love about early Bionicle is the amount of reliance on Technic it had. Not just on this Turaga build, but on all of the Rahi sets, they were about 90% Technic. You have to remember, Bionicle was a brand new theme at this point, and it technically wasn't even standalone yet, as it even had Technic on the boxes. That means that they didn't really have a whole lot of new molds to work with outside of the head, mask, weapon, so on and so forth. And the Turaga make really great parts usage, with the use of the heads on their feet. Not to mention, like with most older Bionicle figures, they all have a little arm function, which is always cool. I love the aesthetics and look of this figure. However, by today's standards, it is probably a little bit outdated. I love having this guy out on the shelf, but there are definitely ways that we can improve him. With this tutorial, I'm going to show you the custom frame that I made, but I will say the upper torso was definitely inspired by Cruxa Productions' version of Turaga Vekama. In the later half of this video, I will be also showing you how to make the robes, as ever since the film Bionicle Mask of Light, this has been an absolute staple with the Turaga. And while there might be hints of one in the original set, that's definitely up to imagination. Now, as we head into the building segment of this video, I have every single part listed in the Bricklink XML format, so please make sure to check the description, especially if you're trying to round these parts up yourselves within your own collection. But otherwise, you can probably copy and paste this into a Bricklink wanted list, and import all the parts into Studio yourself. And remember, you don't need to just apply this to Vekama, you can apply this to your own mocks, or even the other Turaga as well. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you how to get the varying heights, just like with the original sets. For the final segment of this video, I will explain it verbally. Admittingly, I did already record this video before, but I didn't like how it turned out. But these last little modifications are super easy regardless. To hold the neck piece in place, instead of the 2-length axle, if you wanted to go for a more hunchy look, or if you want to add more posability to the neck itself, take a 4-length bar and cut it down to a 2-length bar and put it in the place of the 2-length axle. And this way you can get more vertical motions with the neck itself. And lastly, if you want to have taller legs, swap out the toe ball 1-length axle for a toe ball pin. Then use a 2-length pin connector and then put a pin connector with a pin on it. And that's how you have a longer leg. And if you wanted to make the arms longer, you could just use a 3-length bar instead of the 2-length one. For those of you that don't recognize the 1-length axle socket piece, you can easily find the part on AliExpress. If you do end up building this, please tag me on Instagram or Twitter at IgnitionZoneTV. I'd really love to see your builds, or improvements you might even apply to this build. If you found this video helpful in any way or fashion, please leave a like. And if you have ideas on how to improve this build, please leave them in the comments down below. If you want a really great Tahunga/Mektoran companion that's also revamped, I would highly recommend checking out Wombat Combat's video on how to make a hyper-posable Tahunga. If any of you have suggestions for builds that you would like to see tutorials of, please feel free to let me know. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.